Thing working? Hello. This is Eric with the Cinema 9 podcast, and I am bringing you Cinema 9's very first live, instant, out of the theater reaction video. Film in question, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Okay, now, let's lay some groundwork here. I'm the biggest Indiana Jones fan that's ever lived. Indiana Jones is my all-time favorite character in narrative fiction. Period. End of story. All right? Indiana Jones is my favorite character. I'm a huge movie fan, love books, and Indiana Jones is my favorite character by far. Okay? Close second is probably Batman and the Joker. But Indiana Jones is my man. Okay? I grew up with the original trilogy like everyone else did. Okay? And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Okay? Don't love it. I got my issues. In a future episode, I may bring that on the program and dive into why it's actually a pretty good movie after all. Point is, I like Indy 4. So, was I excited about Indy 5? Absolutely. Okay? Even though we got an 80-year-old Harrison Ford, we don't have Steven Spielberg, and a host of other issues, including the fact that it's been 15 goddamn years since the last only moderately successful fourth entry. Okay? A lot of people are out there saying, why? why in God's name would you make another Indiana Jones movie when 4 sucked and blah, 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 and Spielberg's not even involved, and Lucas is not even involved, for God's sakes? Okay, not even a story credit for George Lucas here. So why do it? Well, I'll tell you why I was interested in it, okay? Okay, Indy's my favorite character, so I care about him. I care about his journey, okay? I want more, okay? Doesn't matter to me that this is an 80-year-old man playing adventure hero, okay? I like the person Indiana Jones, okay? I care about the character. So the big argument is, why do we have to keep seeing our heroes aged, okay? The beauty of escapist entertainment is to see these youthful heroes that we can look up to on the silver screen, okay? And that's an argument that can be made, absolutely. But I'm going to make the argument that if you care about a character, it doesn't matter what age they are, as long as they can give you an entertaining film, okay? So there's the groundwork. I was excited. Dude, I've been reading I've been on the Raider.net fan forums for this for like 3 years now, checking out every single theory, every tidbit, every set photo. So I knew a ton about this movie a couple years ago. So leading into the film, okay, right off the bat, we had James Mangold attached, okay? Do I miss Spielberg? Yeah, I missed him because he brought a certain energy to the film. He knows the character, but he's getting up there and he's kind of losing it. He's got boomer filmmaking. But Mangold's proven his track record speaks for itself. Every single one of his films is different. Okay, Heavy is nothing like Copland. Copland is nothing like Girl Interrupted. Girl Interrupted is nothing like 3:10 to Yuma. 3:10 to Yuma is nothing like Walk the Line, is nothing like Night and Day. Okay? Logan. Ford v Ferrari. This is a versatile filmmaker. So I wasn't really worried about him kind of doing his own thing here. I kind of trusted him with the mantle of this property. Did he earn my trust? Yeah. Does he have my respect? Yeah. What do I think about the film? Okay, now I'm going to be breaking this up into mostly spoiler-free here. There's no real need to get into spoilers when it comes to this film, okay? There's some certain stuff in the third act that you may not want to know about. But I will give you an absolute ample warning when I'm about to approach that, okay? What did I think of the movie? Okay? You can have a 5th installment of my all-time favorite character, but you better believe my expectations they're high. okay? But they're appropriate, okay, given these circumstances. Okay, there's the groundwork. How's the fucking movie? Whew. It's a tricky one. Okay, this is a tricky one. This is a really tricky one. Okay, something like Last Jedi. I know. I stormed out of the theater. I stormed out of the fucking theater. I was the first one out of there in the capacity crowd. I was so mad, I stormed out. Okay, so my reaction, I didn't have to digest shit. I knew it was fucking terrible. But I sat here after the Dial of Destiny through the entire end credits. Everyone else had left. Fucking guy came in to sweep the place, asked me to please leave so he could hurry up and get this done so he can go on his break. I said, give me a minute. I was ruminating. What did I just see? Because this is it. It's over. This is the final send-off. Harrison Ford is not coming back for any fucking Disney Plus series, no animated series. It's done. Okay? This is the final send-off for Indiana Jones. So as I'm driving back, I just got back home. I've got so many thoughts pouring through my mind here. I like this movie. Okay, I like this movie. Did I love the film? No, I didn't love the movie. Did I think I was going to love it? No. This is a series that it's definitely of its era. Okay, this series was in its prime in the 80s when you had very limited things you could do with the medium, and I think that was a huge plus for it. Okay, it only did things that it knew it could do given the technology. So when you have Crystal Skull and you have Dial of Destiny, sky's the limit. Okay, you can do anything that your imagination proposes. That's a bit of a problem, okay? Because what you have is a ton of shit thrown at the screen, okay? And that's not my biggest gripe about the film. I'll get into that. The thing is, I just didn't see a lot of limitations here. I saw a kitchen sink scenario. There was a bunch of stuff fucking flying all over the place, and there was no discipline for what we should see and shouldn't write. Okay? Now, this is an instant reaction. Okay, so you have to forgive me. I'm not as cohesive as I usually try to be. The story has Indiana Jones searching for an artifact from his past. Okay? Now we open with a extended prologue. Okay? This has been everybody's favorite part of the film. This has been everybody's favorite part about the film. Because we got Indiana Jones in 1944, the fall of the war in Berlin. Okay, so this is prime Indy, Colonel Jones, which is cool. But we have this situation where our lead character is a digital effect. Okay, our lead character, the star of our film, is an effect. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? So instead of sitting back and letting this wash over me like I would if this was a true sequel made in like 1994, I'm constantly thinking to myself, how's the deep fake here? Ooh, we got old Harrison Ford voice on a young body. Harrison Ford doesn't move like that, so clearly we have like a body double. Okay, now Harrison Ford is a very, very physical actor. Okay, and I've seen these previous films so many times that I can spot this doppelganger, kick myself, a mile away. Okay, doesn't move like Indy, looks like Indy, but it's an effect. Okay, so you're gonna have to get over that. You're gonna have to get over that and get into what this story is trying to do. Now, what it's trying to do is set up the MacGuffin for the story. Okay. Is it successful? It's fun. Yeah, it's fun, but it's fucking long. Okay? Remember the sequence with the fertility idol in Raiders of the Lost Ark? Of course you do. It's fucking amazing. Remember the Shanghai sequence in Temple of Doom? Of course you do. It's fucking fantastic. Remember the young Indy sequence in Last Crusade? Who could forget? These were like 12 to 15 minutes little teasers, appetizers to get you into the film. This is like 40 minutes, and it gets a little bit boring, okay? What do I mean by boring? Well, like I said before, there's so much stuff being thrown at you. We got a high-speed chase. We got a high-speed train sequence, okay? So we're shooting this in the late 80s or the early 90s. Most of it's got to be practical, okay? So immediately, you're more engaged at the stunt work. Here, might as well be watching a goddamn Pixar movie because nothing's real. Your star isn't even real. Your lead isn't even real. Can you get over that? Maybe. Problem is the pacing here. Okay? The prologue's too long for what it has to say for the rest of the story. We only need a little bit of information about this thing to move on. But we stay in this world for a long ass time, and there's several moments where things feel a little off, okay? They just are very jilted, if I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's just off, okay? And I'm not talking about the deep fake. Deep fake's fine. You get over it and you're like, okay, this is what it is. I'm seeing a young indie adventure here in 1944. It's fucking awesome. I should be happy. The main problem with the entire film, in my opinion, it's not Harrison Ford's age, okay? It's not the fact that George Lucas doesn't have a hand in the concept. It's not Phoebe Waller-Bridge like everyone's pointing the finger at, motherfuckers. Okay? I hate to say it, man, but the problem is James Mangold. Film has no pulse, okay? That's the best way I could put it while sitting in that theater today. It has no pulse, okay? There's moments where I'm looking around the theater, people look fucking bored, okay? People look fucking bored at an Indiana Jones movie? That's a problem, okay? That's a fucking problem, okay? Pacing issue, okay? There's dead air in the prologue and then throughout the rest of the movie, okay? And I'll get to this third act. There's so much fucking dead air, okay? Now, this is like 2 hours and 34 minutes, okay? Once again, these fucking summer blockbusters have to be so goddamn long. Why? Okay? Parts 1, 2, and 3, 120 minutes. Okay? Remember the VHS? 120 minutes, rated PG-13. You're in, you're out. It's so quick. Crystal Skull comes along, I think it tacks on maybe 13 to 15 extremely noticeable minutes of dead air. This tacks on like 35 to 40 fucking minutes, which could have easily been taken care of in the editing room. James Mangold has no discipline in the editing room with this film, and it's my biggest fault with the movie, man. There's so many scenes that are just lifeless, okay? Joyless too, and I'll get into that later. But lifeless. Okay? No music, no energy. Characters sitting around looking at each other. It reminds me of like those honest trailers where like they cut to it and they just show like people just looking around at each other. There's no pulse. Friends, when James Mangold decided to take the job, he asked Steven Spielberg for his advice on how to create a good Indiana Jones film. What did Spielberg tell him? Well, Spielberg said, keep moving, okay? It can't stop, okay? It can never stop. The audience cannot catch its breath or you'll lose them, okay? These are films inspired by 30s series. We all know this fucking story, okay? The audience can take a breath, you lost them, okay? They take a lot of breaths. There's so much dead air in this feature. They could have easily excised a half hour out of it, okay? Which makes what could have been a pretty good movie into, fuck me, a good movie, okay? This could have been a great movie. There it is. It's because of the pace. Film has no pulse, okay? Now, I defy you, when you see this, and I do suggest you see it in theaters and support it, okay? There wasn't a lot of people in today's opening day showing, and it was fucking depressing, man. I want you to count how many times you think that there's just lifeless, dead, weird, low energy throughout this film. We got some scenes that feel like they're a fucking Netflix series of Indiana Jones, where it's dramatic and morose in a weird off-kilter way that's not seen anywhere else in this series, okay? I'm cool with going in a different direction story-wise, and it definitely does, which I liked. But for the whole tone to be like this grown-up, mature, soap opera type of feel, it's a problem, okay? We can't forget why Indy is Indy. Indy is a, you'll excuse me here, but rollicking adventure that you eat popcorn and have fun with. It is not the fucking Young and the Restless, okay? And we got beats here that are like the fucking Young and the Restless, okay? I was looking for fucking Victor to show up. Remember Victor? I was waiting for fucking Victor to show up and talk to Indiana Jones. Victor. Okay. Let's talk about some positives. Harrison Ford doesn't phone it in. He does a great job, okay? This is an 80-year-old man still playing action hero, and he's got good moments. He's got some weird moments, but he's got really good moments, okay? Color palette. This guy, Papa Michael, takes over for Doug Slocombe and fucking Janusz Kaminski. It's very rich. I like the look of the film, okay? It looks like this like late 60s VistaVision color, which is really cool. They did that with part 4 too to try to make it look like it was in the 50s. It has this like really rich, dynamic color palette that I liked a lot. John Williams, what can I say here, man? It's the final John Williams score, okay? He does these silly, stupid flourishes, like he did this in Indy 4 too. Like every time like they show Indy's hat, he's got to play do 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 do, and every time they show Indy's whip, he's got to play do 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 do. It's like fucking come on, man. It's like it's geezer shit. That's what it is. It's geezer shit. Like remember. It's like, yeah, we remember. You didn't do this the first 3 times. You're only doing it now because it's such a legacy character. Fucking knock that shit off. serviceable score. Can't remember any, what do you call it? What's the word? Themes? Yeah, I can't remember any themes from Dial of Destiny. And I should, you know. The previous 3 films, they each had like their own cool themes about the scenarios. Can't remember shit. It was just in the background. So yeah, a little disappointed. But John Williams is a 90-year-old man, and at least it's him and not like Giancarlo like replicating it. I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge in this. Everybody's up in arms, and I gotta get off fucking YouTube because all these fucking man children want to rip on her for sexist fucking man-destroying Mary Sue bullshit. I gotta get off fucking YouTube. Not true, okay? She's fine. Feisty, smart, manipulative, has her own agenda. At least she's interesting and complex. She reminded me a lot of, in fact, the entire relationship between her and Indiana Jones kind of reminded me of the African Queen, what Bogart and Hepburn were doing. And I liked that, okay? I liked her in the movie. I also liked the little kid Teddy a lot. I was like, oh no, we got a fucking kid? I like this kid. He was fun. Antonio Banderas, he pops in and out, and they only got him because, like, this is like a $280 million budget, which is fucking out of control because it's not going to make any money. He's there. Does his job. It's fun to see him. But could have been anybody playing this role. John Rhys Davis, a lot of fun. He does great work in the film. Other positives. What the fuck? This third act. Okay? Stay off the internet if you don't want spoilers, because a lot of people are talking about this bizarre third act. What the fuck is going on here? We got this in an Indiana Jones movie? Seriously? We're going here? We're doing this in an Indiana Jones movie? We're doing this? I thought it was fucking awesome. I loved the third act. The first act, I was like, oh fuck, the pacing's all off. This has no pulse. This is weird. I don't know about this. The second act, it's a fucking slog fest. The second act of this film isn't good. It's not good. You feel every off moment. You feel every goofy line, every goofy delivery, every like nonsense scene, every tertiary character that they wouldn't have in the other films. It's just weird. I loved the third act. I loved the last like half hour of this movie. I loved it. I fucking loved it. I was in the theater with a big smile on my face. I don't do that. But I had a big smile on my face. I was like, yes, this is fucking awesome. Like, I was gifted this. That's how I felt. Like, that third act, I was like, when all is said and done, yeah, Harrison Ford's 80. Yeah, people thought 4 sucked. So why have 5? Well, in my opinion, we were gifted a 5th entry. And you don't have to see it. But if you're a fan of this character, you have it now. You have it to look back on for its very memorable moments, for its continuation of this character that you love and should be supporting out there. But man, I love where they went in this third act. I thought it was so fucking cool. Remember in part 4, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, when they introduced aliens and people lost their fucking mind? Not me. I was like, this is awesome. 1950s, all you saw was War of the Worlds. Day of the Earth Stood Still, Earth versus the Flying Saucers. This is a clear homage. This is the right way to go. Bring in aliens. Indiana Jones meeting up with aliens is fucking awesome. So what do we do in 1969? I love what they did here. I thought it was fucking awesome. Okay? And it makes for some extremely interesting character beats for Indiana to go through. Okay? Fucking fantastic. Also, Mads Mikkelsen, it's another positive, okay? He's good in the first act. The second act is fucking boring, okay? The second act is fucking boring. When they go to Tangiers and they're fucking around on these tuk-tuks and it's like, it's filler. It's filler and it goes on too long. That's why this movie is fucking too long, because the second act is filler and you're like checking your watch, no pun intended. But Mads Mikkelsen is an interesting villain, okay? Everyone loves Renee Belloq from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Everyone likes Mola Ram because he's a lot of fun. He's this insane high priest torturer. In my opinion, Donovan is one of the most boring villains. In Last Crusade, what does he do? Wear a suit, wants the Grail, gives a fuck. Why do people give a shit to Spelko? And some people are saying this villain's a little bit boring. No, we got a dynamic villain here, and Mads Mikkelsen pulls it off, especially in this third act, dude. Now I know what you're thinking. Mads Mikkelsen, every villain in every single movie the past 5 years? Sure, I'll give you that. But he does interesting stuff here. And I love what he does and where this character goes in this last third act. Keep saying it. But it's really cool, okay? Now he's got these weird moments. Like the same thing keeps happening like over and over again. There's a gun pulled on you, so give him the thing. There's a gun pulled on you, so give him the thing. There's a gun pulled on you, so give him the thing. There's a gun pulled on your friend, so give him the thing. Oh, they just pulled a gun on him, so give him the thing. It just keeps happening. And I'm like, this is what you're in the script? This is what you're writing? I don't know. Okay. At this point, now I'm going to move into spoilers. But at this point, I'm going to conclude this very lengthy instant reaction, spoiler-free segment by saying that this is a good movie. This is a cool movie that I think you should see in theaters. Is this a worthy addition to, like, am I going to be proud to have the Dial of Destiny on my shelf next to the other installments? Okay? Actually, I think I'm using Crystal Skull as a coaster at the moment. Just kidding. I like Crystal Skull. Yeah, definitely. Because it adds a lot of interesting things to this character. And the third act's fucking amazing. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm not fucking devastated. I'm not disappointed. I'm happy. That says it all. For the world's biggest Indiana Jones fan to come out of part 5 with an 80-year-old Indiana Jones to be happy? That's saying a lot, my friends. So this is good news. Let's get into spoilers. Okay? If you've seen the film and you're interested in my thoughts, keep watching. Okay? Because I'm going to go on for a few more minutes. I'm still very much kind of ruminating things over in my head. And the more I think about this movie, the more interesting it gets. You know me. If you listen to the show, I just fucking talked about how much I like Toy Story 4 when I saw it the other day. And I've been bashing that sequel for past 3-4 years since it came out. So I'm a flip-flopper. I'm a waffler. But the more I think about this 5th movie, The Dial of Destiny, the more I'm starting to really like it. For a lot of different reasons. Okay, don't go away yet. Don't go away yet. I'll tell you when I'm doing spoilers. We've got a $250+ million budgeted summer release starring an 80-year-old man? Imagine this happening like 30, 40 years ago. Wouldn't happen because all the 80-year-old Hollywood stars were like either dead or playing like the funny grandpa in some bullshit. We got Harrison Ford strapping in for one final adventure, and he's putting the work in. Like, he's doing what he can, and it's not ridiculous. The stuff that he does in terms of the stunts and what a man of his age is expected to do, it's not out of the realm of possibility based on the character's conditioning. Okay? He has aches and pains after the fact, but his instinct is to be like his old self. The script is smart in that respect. So yeah, kudos, man. You made a movie starring an 80-year-old man and it's an adventure movie, okay? When do you see that? You don't see that. And we've got a good movie that pulled that off. Kudos. Let's talk spoilers. Okay, if you want to go away, you don't want to know anything about this fucking movie, get the fuck out of here. Because we're talking spoilers. Ready? Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Last warning. Fuck out of here. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's about fucking time travel. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Indiana Jones trying to find essentially a time machine? I'm sorry. In my opinion, that's fucking awesome. Okay? Some people are like, oh, what the fuck? No, we need a religious artifact. All right? How about I don't know, blood of Jesus? How about Jesus' crown of thorns? Give me a fucking break. Been there, done that. Okay? To use a really lame old expression. Been there, done that. Okay? We've already done religious artifacts. We did that sort of stuff in the 30s and it was a lot of fun. Okay? We did aliens in the 50s. In the 60s, in the late 1960s, we had the Time Machine film come out based on H.G. Wells' film. And it's fucking interesting. Okay? Because we've got an old man, a lot of the film, sometimes to a detriment, sometimes not, is about an old man reflecting on his life in the past. Okay? So the MacGuffin here about the possibility of going back to change things is an enticing one, an intriguing one, a bold one, but an interesting one. I really like the fact that MacGuffin is, for lack of a better term, kind of a time device. Okay, a time machine, a time device. Not really that, okay? Because it can only take you back to a specific time. I'm assuming everyone who's still watching saw the film. But I love that. I love that. That's why I'm telling you, man, I loved so much. Okay. Indiana Jones literally goes back to 200 BC. He goes back to ancient Greece. He goes back to the siege of Syracuse. He goes back in time. Okay, Mads Mikkelsen's character, the Nazi, his goal is to go back in time and change the course of the war, but he has no fucking clue what to do with the dial, and he fucks it up and gets the coordinates wrong, and he goes back to ancient Syracuse, and Indiana Jones fucking meets Archimedes, and Mads Mikkelsen is killed by fucking Roman centurions. This is awesome. This is fucking awesome. We've got fucking Roman centurions shooting down a plane full of Nazis. Okay, this is what you get. You don't just get Indiana Jones in a temple trying to find Moses' staff. Okay, fuck that, man. You can get that shit in those old PS2 video games. We've got a time travel device that's used. It's activated, and we have the Nazis getting killed by ancient Roman centurions in a giant battle. It's fucking awesome. I loved it. I loved it so much. And then we have Indiana Jones reacting to all the stuff that he's seeing. It was so cool. I loved it, man. I loved it so much. I'm tearing up because it was so cool. Indiana Jones, who spent his whole life studying history and archaeology, is seeing for his own eyes everything that his life's goal was, to look back at history. He's seeing it. And he doesn't want to leave. Okay, he doesn't want to leave. He meets Archimedes, and he's being told that he doesn't belong there and he's got to go back. He doesn't want to. Well, why wouldn't he want to? Okay? He's getting divorced. Marion left him. His son, Mutt Ravenwood, is dead. Killed in the Vietnam War. Okay? Now I got to backpedal here. Okay? I got to backpedal. Because we have, and this should be a problem, okay? We have yet another legacy character who starts the movie off after we haven't seen him in a long, long time as a fucking loser. Okay, they keep doing this. I talk about this all the time on the show. Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. We first meet him after all this time. Finally, we're waiting at the edge of our seat. Fucking loser nobody likes. He's depressed. Ray Stantz. Ghostbusters Afterlife. We've been waiting 30 years to see what they're up to. Fucking loser. Spits on Egon's grave. Why do they keep doing... Han Solo. We've been waiting 40 years to see what Han's up to. He's a fucking loser. Leia left him. Okay, there's some parallels here. Leia left him and his son is out of the picture? Everybody at Lucasfilm getting his messages here? Is redoing the same character? Anyway, here it works. Here it works because we have an arc that says this is an adventurer who his whole life is adventure, study, research, and he's past his prime. Okay, so what does modern society do to him? I liked the way they explored this. I like it quite a bit. And it gives the character an interesting arc. It could easily just be like, and he's back at it, and his whole family's coming along for the ride. Fuck no, man. If Mutt and Marion would have joined him again, I would have been like, what the fuck is this? Griswold's Family Vacation meets Indiana Jones? That part didn't work for me in Crystal Skull, and then you're going to have the whole family back? No. I'm so glad they just didn't have everybody come back. Now, I like Mutt. I like Shia LaBeouf as Mutt. Okay? Everybody's biggest problem was the fact that he swung around on those stupid vines, which is fucking dumb. But I really liked Mutt. He was like a rebel, a greaser from the 50s who stood up for himself. He was able to handle himself in a tough situation, and he had good jokes. I don't know what everyone's pissed about. So to see him go as a casualty of the Vietnam War, sitting in theater, I'm like, what do I think about that? Well, if it's a hero and he's supposed to be like Indiana Jones, he would be the hero of the war, not just die in the war like in real life. And this is supposed to be escapist entertainment. But I'm still kind of digesting that. I do kind of like what it does for Indiana Jones because it puts him in this situation where, given his circumstances, he has to make big choices that matter. Okay, and that's interesting for a character. Okay, nothing's easy for Indiana Jones here. So yeah, we have him starting out as fucking 80 years old, wandering around in his pajamas, drunk. And it'd be very easy to say to yourself, well, are you kidding me right now? Why would I want to see Indiana Jones, an 80-year-old Indiana Jones drunk in his pajamas yelling at his neighbors to turn the music down? Why would I want to see that? I like Indiana Jones because he's an adventurer in his prime. Like I said, if you like the character, you care about him. Okay, so if you see him in this predicament, you want him to get out of it. Okay, you want him to recognize the good qualities of his life and his friends, people that are important to him, and you want him to change. And he goes through a good arc here. Okay, Indy 4, there's no arc. There's no arc. He meets his son. He's like, he acts all goofy and dumb. Then the movie's over. Here there's an arc. There's an arc that says something about getting older, putting the past behind you, and moving on with your life. So, yeah, I dug it. So, I mean, that's the spoilers. Indy goes back in time. He fucking goes back in time, sees history. At one point in the film, he says, we're witnessing history. What a gift for this character that we love so much. He has the opportunity to see what he's been studying his whole life. That's so cool to think about, but only for a brief time. Okay, then he's back, and then you get to ruminate about the fact that this guy's so much cooler now. Like, not only does he know everything about history, he's this incredible adventurer and archaeologist, but he was there. For me, it just makes him more cool. There's such a beautiful, gorgeous 5 minutes here that had me crying in the theater. Okay, now I know what I said. Do I want to be crying and sad at the end of an Indiana Jones movie, or do I want to be like, oh, fuck yeah, haha, throwing popcorn at the screen? I don't know. I'm getting older myself, so maybe this is my shit coming out. Maybe I have to confront this about myself. But for me, it's about the character. At the end of the day, I like this movie. Okay? Now, I was worried while watching it. I'm like, fuck, am I ever going to want to see this again? And if they didn't stick that third act landing, if they didn't stick that ending, I don't know. I might buy it, and it could sit on the shelf. It could be a coaster. But thanks to that third act, I definitely recommend it. I think it's a cool movie. It's got a lot to say, but I just would have punched up that pace. I would have... And I just don't understand, when there's so much money involved, and there's so many hands, how does someone not say, James, I'm falling asleep over here. Edit that scene out. Get rid of those few seconds. We don't need to see this guy walking by. Why are you having a conversation with this waiter at the hotel? Who gives a fuck? Trim it up and get rid of half an hour of this, okay? Somebody's going to do a fan edit, but fan edits are bullshit. This is the product that was delivered. And I just don't get it. There's just so many weird moments that just don't belong in the film. What do I rate it? I don't know, man. I don't really rate. I just say, right now, sitting here thinking about it, I have 5 Indiana Jones movies that I get to look forward to watching my whole life. And I'm going to be proud to have this in my collection, okay? I still like 4. And there's a lot of things that I like more about 4. I said it. But I dug the film. I'm not going to see it again in theaters now. But I'm going to buy the Blu-ray and watch it again many, many times. Thanks for sitting through this. I've been talking forever, okay? We're going to go ahead and close this out at this particular time. And I want to make sure I don't accidentally erase this. So what do I do? How do I stop it? What the fuck do I do? I don't know. This video is over. I'm just going to figure out how to turn it off without erasing the whole thing at this point in time. 42 minutes. Check it out. Let me know in the comment section. Email the show what you thought, okay? cinema9pod@gmail.com. Am I full of shit? Okay? Am I an old saccharine sap that needs to get it together and fuck off? What do you think? Okay? Let us know. And thank you so much for watching, and we're going to check you out a little bit. I'm going to hit this X, okay? All this might not have even saved. If I hit this X, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. But I appreciate you. Adios.